Ghost Tactical Production Studio, welcome to Tactical Tuesday, streaming live on YouTube and simulcasting as always on GunChannels.com. To check out our entire lineup of videos, podcasts, and live shows, please visit our website, www.ghosttacticalproductions.com.
What in the world is going on, my Ghost Squad? I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, January 1st of 2019. Happy freaking New Year. I'm glad everybody's doing well out there. I hope your Christmas and your New Year's was great. I want to say thank you to everybody who is joining us tonight. I know that you guys have probably other things that you want to be doing, but I'm glad that you're stopping by and hanging out for a little bit with us. We are live as always on YouTube and simulcasting as always over on GunChannels.com. If you're not familiar with GunChannels.com, I mean, by now we can't really help you. You're missing out. You're missing out. I'm going to put the link over here on the YouTube side. If you haven't yet, then please go check us out. And it's where the cool people hang out, as Clover likes to say. But it's a great pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment community that was started by G-Webs about 5 years ago. And there's a 24-hour lobby chat. There's all sorts of great stuff going on over there. If you've got a question about guns or 2A stuff, that is definitely the place that you can.
We lost Ghost again.
We lost audio.
It cut completely. Can you hear us?
Yeah, see, he wasn't dancing this time. So what can we blame it on? Just New Year's?
There was no static, no nothing.
Can you hear me?
What the hell?
It was Y219.
See, you know, it's just been one of those why 2019. So what's up? So thank you guys for joining us. It's been an interesting 48 hours for myself and my family. I don't want to get into that really too much, but it's nice to be here with my friends, and it's nice to be here with you guys, and thanks for being part of the Ghost Squad. So let's run through the room real quick over on the Gun Channel side. You've got G and Clover and Gary. On the YouTube side, man, it's a hopping crowd already. We got 32 lost souls that are just wandering around in life, and they happen to stumble upon us. So welcome. If you're out there on the YouTube side, please say something. We can't see you unless you say something in the chat. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. If you're an old timer, then sorry, I don't know why you're still here. But let's say hi to everybody real quick. Stealth Hunters out there. Ashley out there. She says, Happy New Year's from GunStreamer. She can't stay, but she wanted to say hello. So hello to GunStreamer. Gun-loving Grandpa Stanley. What's up, Buck? Uncle Buck's out there. Gun Snob said he's first, and he's probably about 11th, but that's okay. Gary's out there. Snob's wife trying to keep a good eye on Snob, but he just can't help. You know, that he's just out there. You know, sometimes people are lost causes. Calaveras 32 Specials out there. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Guitar Man Pete's out there. What's up, Pete? JB John Brown Productions is out there. Southpaw RX. What's up, Southpaw? Let's see here. Let me get down here. Sorry, I'm a little off my game. I apologize. It's anyways, yeah. Let's see here. 2 live moves out there. Mateo 1371's out there. D-Temp 62's out there. Lead Life, John 12 Gauge, G-Webs is out there. MW Tactical's out there. Dr. Wreath Coil, Keith Gregory, Jet's out there. What's up, Jet? WB, the Warner Brothers studio himself is out there. What's up, Warner Brothers? Sam Stoll's out there. What's up, Sam? Sam, PD. Jorge's out there. Let's go through here. Tardot, what the hell is going on, Tardot? I miss you, brother. Good to see you out there. Good to see you, my man. 67 Flip-Flop Girl. I'm digging the name. Flip-Flop Girl. Hi, she says. Hello, how are you? Budget Guns and Gears out there. What's up, Budget? Roosted's out there. You're next. Michael Sands is out there. Gunpowder Beauty. See if Tardot's there. She's got to make sure that he stays in line. So she's here. Philo's out there. What's up? Warsaw's out there. If I missed you, I apologize. This thing's kind of going quickly, so I miss everybody. I missed everybody last week. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas last week, and I hope you are safe and had a great start to your 2019. Theodore's out there. What's up, Teddy? Teddy Bear's out there. I love it. I love it. I got to take this text from my mom. Just 1 second, guys. I apologize. I want to introduce everybody through the panel real quick while I look at this text. From South Carolina, we got the Magic Man himself, Mike from MW Tactical. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, doing all right. Fighting a cold. Got a little itchy throat going on, a little headache, manifesting. But overall, I'm ready to get 2019 started off right. Get back into some competition shooting. Took a couple weeks off, and time to do it.
Well, I'm glad that the best thing for a scratchy throat and a cold is to talk for an hour. So I'm glad we could help you out.
Oh man, well, I think my little assistant already beat you to that. The past 2 days, she's been talking to me, and the throat's been getting worse. But I figured out Powerade and emergency. That combination works very well for me. So I'm gonna try it out, and hopefully we can make it through this evening in one piece. Or am I lost?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
They're all good. They're all good.
Oh, did we lose Ghost again?
Yeah, I'm assuming we lost him again.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
I have a question for Mike. I'm going to see if I can't screen capture. So I was watching your Instagram feed.
Okay.
And range that you're at, is that the same range all the time?
Which one? The one of me doing competition shooting, or just me shooting around?
I guess you're at a match. Mainly, I'm curious: is this the side of a hill, or is this like a quarry? Because I'm digging the height of these berms, so I'm guessing it's got to be a hill or a quarry.
Yeah. So that one right there, that match right there, is my home range that I shoot at, and on the other side of that hill is some trailers, like a trailer park.
Oh, okay. So they like shaved a hill in half.
Yeah, so it's like if you're living in a trailer park and if you walk to the top, you got to walk about 600-700 meters, to the edge. And then if you look over, but it's a fence up there that's blocking everything off. So you have to go through like obstacles to get to the edge.
Right on. Yeah, I just noticed that you do a lot of times you have these huge berms. I was just wondering that.
Yeah.
Because if it's a quarry, then you get water all the time, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I guess my cord of my microphone keeps popping out, so I kind of rigged it up there, so should be good to go. Sorry about that.
Fix that right up.
Hell yeah. Let's keep on going through the Godfather from Arizona. What's up, G? How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for the invite. Good to be on.
Man, I heard you had like an epic 3-hour daily gun show where you welcomed the new year on, I think, in every damn time zone, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was 4 hours, I think, right?
4 hours, okay.
So yeah, we started a couple of 3 minutes before the East Coast, and then everybody was still had energy, so we ran it through, I don't know, half an hour after Pacific.
That's awesome. I would have loved to jump in, but I was actually asleep. I hadn't slept in a couple days, so I was loving the back of my eyelids. But we're going to talk a little about that a little bit here. But that's awesome. I'm glad you could get that done. And from Texas, the magical leprechaun, the tactical leprechaun, the tactical virus, whatever you want to call him. He keeps finding us, but we'll take him. He's our one and only little buddy. What's up, Clover?
Hey, good to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, man. Everything going good with you?
Yeah, I've had better days, but I've had a whole lot worse too. So
I hear you. I hear you. Well, you want to talk about real quick? You had a little drawing last night for some giveaways. Was it your Y2k giveaway? Ironically, on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it was the Y2k YouTube. Yeah. Which is kind of funny. I mean, we're almost at 2,100 now. So that's what happens when you put it off, I guess, because I think by the time that I knew that we would hit 2,000 sometime in December, but then we had the Christmas sweepstakes, and then I had the Instagram thing, and I didn't want any of that to overlap, and
right.
So I kind of schedule all that as according to when it happened. And yeah, there's been kind of an uptick in the whole YouTube side of things, which is, I don't know, I want to say strange since I don't have the live stream capability, but it's there nonetheless. And yeah, so kind of cool. We were able to give who did we have? David Boland, Patrick Pew Pew, and Tanner Martin was our 3 winners. So cool thing about that is that's not just random people that happened across a giveaway and signed up. All those are pretty involved across the platforms, and that's cool to see.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk bad about people that just go from channel to channel, signing up and registering for giveaways, and then they leave the channel. Not talking about that at all, but it is nice to see that sometimes the winners of these giveaways are people that are they're embedded with us, and they're part of our circle, and they're part of the family, and they're supportive, and they're always around watching our live and our produced stuff. So it is nice to see that, because we do see some from time to time people win, and we've never seen them before, and we'll probably never see them again, and they just kind of jump from giveaway to giveaway. But it is nice to see everyone now that some winners are the people that are here for us a lot. So that worked out well, I guess.
Now we got to do a 200 sub push there on GunStreamer. I got to get up above 200. A couple channels I need to pass up and get. You and G-Web's kind of making me look pitiful over there.
I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I don't know why, but
Ashley, she's not promoting my stuff anymore. It's where I'm going to place the blame. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, as far as like the featured channels, like I'm like of the 8 channels that are featured, I'm like the number 7, so I'm way down the list. But it's all good. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But I got Hank above me, and I'm in front of Hank, and Hank's above me in the featured. No, I mean, goodness gracious, show me some love, damn it. I'm just messing with you, Ashley. Just messing with you.
Maybe they need to swap me and you for a little while. Maybe that'll help me out if they do that. It'll make you feel better, because
they might feel bad for me. So people are going to my channel because I'm so far down the totem pole over there.
They would. Pity subs.
Pity sub. That's right. Yeah, I've had a spike the last couple of weeks on YouTube as well. I don't know if that's just because people are at home, not going to work or school, and they're flipping through YouTube a little bit more. But I'd like to think, because I put some decent videos out lately, but probably is not it. You know how it is. But let's just kind of, what we wanted to do tonight is just have some fun. Honestly, it's like I said, it's been an interesting couple days. And I really don't want to do much besides just have fun with my buddies and talk shop a little bit. So there's really nothing planned, except for we're going to talk a little about what's happened with 2018, what we're looking forward to 2019. And then, guys, if you're out there in the chat, Mel says, who else is hungover? If you're out there in the chat and you want to talk about something, you have a question, tag one of us, or you can email it to live@ghosttactical.us, or you can text it to the number right up there. It's 530-36-GHOST, or if you want to spell it out or the numbers, it's 530-364-4678. So go ahead and give us a shout out, and we'll make sure we get some questions answered. What are you guys looking forward to 2019? Is there anything that you would like for us to cover or do during 2019? Throw some suggestions out there. We obviously have SHOT Show coming up. And SHOT Show, we cover, all 4 of us in this room are going to be there. And, we're going to have different things we're going to be doing. Let's kind of start with that. And Mike, this is, I'm not acting like I'm an old, salty veteran of SHOT Show, but this is your first year of SHOT Show. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to your first year at SHOT?
Really, I'm just looking forward to the networking with various people in the industry. Actually meeting a lot of people who I talk to on the internet and telephone and text all the time. And but I never go in with great expectations, because I don't really want to let myself down, if that makes sense to you.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, so it's just, for me, it's just living the experience. And of course, after the first time of going, now I'll know what to expect and know what to look forward to the next time.
Do you have any specific plans or companies that you're at least going to want to go and make sure you talk to, maybe some relationships that you've already got in the industry that you want to make sure you go say hey to?
Yeah, everybody who's helped me out, whether it was competition shooting, product reviews, I'm gonna swing by everybody and say what's up, thank you, give hugs, handshakes. But at the same time, there's other businesses that I want to talk to, but I feel like it would be better to do it face to face versus as an email. So they can actually, put their eyes and a handshake on what they're going to get. If that makes sense to you.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
But outside of that, it's just going and just doing the networking. I love to network with people.
Oh yeah. Gee, this is what you be your 15th or 16th or something like that SHOT Show. Is there anything that you're gonna do kind of differently this year, or is anything you're looking forward to?
Nope, it's open.
It's open, so whatever happens, you're just gonna go with the wind, huh?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about anything. Oh, sorry, I don't care about anything.
You
Except
can say it doesn't matter to me. Go ahead.
All I care about is trying to get the people to be aware that we can either sit back and do nothing and watch legislation happen to us, or we can work together. And I'm hoping that people will realize that getting together for a week is valuable and we can get some stuff accomplished this year.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, you said this many times. For the most part, you've got every facet of the industry. You've got, aside from the consumer, but I guess we're all consumers. So we are still representing the consumers because we still buy stuff. But you've got the industry, you've got the gun shop and the store owners, and you've got the media, and there is a nice opportunity there to get people on the same page instead of not necessarily working against each other, just definitely not working together all the time.
Yeah, who cares if we're all best friends, as long as we pick up the rope and pull in the same direction and not just stand there while a bunch of other couple of people pull a rope, and try to get everybody to realize that we can make a difference. We've done it before.
Exactly. Yeah. Clover, what about you? This year going to be a little bit different, no pun intended, tactically than last year?
Yeah, I'm just going to eat the cookies and drink the orange juice.
You're gonna have to fight. Well, I don't know. Maybe Yankee isn't going, but if he's there, you're gonna have to fight him for the orange juice. That's for sure.
He ends up bowing out. I'll take his spot. And
you're gonna walk away with a damn diabetic attack, aren't you?
Yeah. The approach is going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be a little bit different because of so many. We'll probably get into 2018, but the approach is got to be different just because of a lot of the connections and stuff that were made through 2018.
Right.
It kind of changes everything up. I had some connections last year at SHOT Show, but it wasn't dozens, and it's dozens at this point. So, you want to make yourself seen, and not to put a repeat into the whole, what we got into on Daily Gun Show last night. But if you're out there and you've got 3 hours to listen, that was a pretty amazing show to listen to. And we talked about a bunch of this, but there's a certain amount of respect and everything towards the industry when, you make these shows, and, these people are sending you products and you're working with them, and you talk with them perhaps monthly or even weekly, some of them. And, it's, even if you just swing by, it's not necessarily about, going to a booth at SHOT Show and doing, spending 30 minutes doing video and pictures and an interview. Even if you just swing by and say, hey, and maybe hit them up and see if they're available for, some kind of a dinner later, or, what their plans are for something like that. And I know we've been kind of working on getting something like that maybe together, but it just, letting them know that, we appreciate not only what they do for us, but what they do as far as, money wise, and spending all the money and the time and the work that it takes to get everything out to Vegas and get set up and be there for what they probably pull 12-hour days, I'm sure. Right. By the time that they have all their meetings and everything else, they're easily pulling 12-hour days out there. And, I mean, it's not an easy thing. And they do that, to put all of their stuff sort of in one place at one time, and it's kind of amazing. And I mean, it deserves a little bit of respect, in my opinion.
Yeah. We've got a couple questions out there. One of them is from Buck Stanley up there. He said he's going to do his first AR build. Wants to know our thoughts on a straight trigger versus a curved trigger. Typically, I've always been a person that kind of likes the curved trigger on the AR platform, but I've had two that have had the straight trigger that I bought them that way from someone and I liked them. But I guess if I was going to build it myself, I'd probably go with the curve. But let's run through the panel. G, what about you? Straight trigger or curved trigger?
Every straight trigger I've ever seen is, supposed to either be 1911-ish, so it'll have a different pull, right? So it'll be more of a back pull instead of a lever or whatever. But so they're quicker, and then most of the time I don't want to call them more fragile, but there's more parts, right? There's some sort of fancier or lighter trigger. So for me, if it's just going to be did he say what kind of gun?
I just said AR build. I asked him what kind, but he didn't mention what caliber or anything, but he said AR build. So I'm going to assume, unless it's something different, a 223, 5.56, whatever.
But I mean, just as far as use or whatever, since we don't
know. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be for hunting or not. Buck, if you're out there, is it going to just be used for fun, or is it for hunting, or what's its purpose for?
But basically, I would go with a standard trigger because it's more all jack of all trades or something, or more useful all around. Where the lighter triggers are more if you're trying to do successive shots or maybe accuracy at distance. So I would rather go with a harder curved trigger than a lighter flat trigger. But that's my experience with flats, has always been lighter. I'm not sure if it's just a style preference, like maybe they make regular triggers that are just physically straight. But most of the time I've seen straight ones, they're supposed to mimic like a 1911 pull.
Right. Yeah. Mike, what about you? AR platform, straight or curved?
I would prefer the straight.
Okay. That's awesome. So go into this and explain to me what yours is for.
All right. So like the rifle that I run now is the Delphi Tactical Silver Bow, and that has a straight trigger on it. Now I've shot plenty of straight triggers, but the curve, in my opinion, kind of gives you like the false placement, I guess you could say. Whereas you might think your finger is at one point when it really isn't, because the curve can throw you off. And the straight point, you can actually detect exactly where you are, because now when you go to pull that trigger back, it's forcing you to pull it straight back versus as, canting or pulling. If you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you think for someone that might be newer to the AR platform or newer to guns, a straight might be better just for the basic fundamental trigger pull?
Actually, I think that's better for everybody. The way you just worded it, I think it works for everybody like that. Because even for me, like when I first shot my first straight trigger, and I found it easier for me to define finger placement. And it was just easy for me to keep going back to that same spot over and over and over again.
That makes sense. Bugs out there says for fun, maybe trying some long range shooting. So let's go over to Clover with that information and all that. What say you, my friend?
Well, there's a couple of reasons that you have a straight trigger. Number one is what Mike sort of alluded to, and that's consistent finger placement. The second is consistent pull. And it's primarily predominant when you have a hinged trigger system. 1911 is not hinged, right? Looking at an exploded diagram, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So if you got a hinged trigger system or fire control group or whatever, that's where the flat really shines. So at the end of the day, I mean, unless you're talking precision or match or something like that, I don't necessarily see the need for a flat trigger. And I'm going to dissent on the good for everybody, because I'm of the school that you need to learn proper fundamentals and mechanics and all of that stuff on the most rudimentary basic equipment first, and then move up from there. Because if you run out and you've never had a firearm and you get a flat face trigger, on something, and you're shooting bottle caps off at 25 yards or whatever, and then you go buy your next firearm and it's a curved trigger, and you're not able to hit the broadside of the barn if you're pulling all over the place and everything else because your fundamentals just absolutely suck. So it's gonna help you once you get your fundamentals and all down. It's gonna help you even more. So you're still gonna see perks with it.
I got a super chat out there from Rick Nethery, $5, saying Happy New Year, Semper Fi. So Semper Fidelis, Rick, appreciate you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I haven't thought about where this is going to go for this month. I think I'm going to send the super chats this month to the National Stroke Foundation, and it's a personal reason why, but I think I'm going to do that. So thank you. Appreciate it very much. Let's see here. Warsaw out there says,
hold on, you didn't say what you want for a straight or curved trigger.
Yeah, I said curved. I said I prefer a curved. I've had a couple ARs that have had straight that I had bought already assembled and from buddies or whatever, and I prefer a curved trigger. And I guess only reason why I say that is you have to understand that most of my shooting experience all started in the Marine Corps, and the first gun outside of like a 22 at home or with some buddies or whatever growing up, the first gun I ever shot that was really meant something was the M16A2. And so I kind of will always go back. I learned how to shoot on a curved trigger in the Marine Corps, so I will probably say a curved trigger. It's what feels good to me. Not to say that I don't like straight triggers. I have a couple handguns that have straight triggers, and they're not bad. But I prefer a curved trigger. And I think that's just more because that's just kind of what I learned to shoot with,
Can I throw it out there too that he's talking, he said general use or long range?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like nothing, but if you get an opportunity to go shoot like a flat Geisley, I don't know what one's that is, it SSS, I don't know what they're called, but the flat Geisley is the one I've had experience with. And then just a regular, anybody can shoot a regular trigger anywhere. Yeah. But if you can, go to a range and try, because it's amazing the difference between the curved and the straight. Like Mike's saying, it's just day and night, really.
And I've never shot a Geisley before. I mean, not that I know of, unless it's been on a gun that I've shot of somebody else without knowing it. But I've heard amazing things about Geisley, so I would like to do that myself.
It's just so fast. Fisher had a break on his. That's the time I shot it the most, and just shooting an AR, which is an easy gun to hold on to, and you got a break so it controls that little bit of recoil that it even has. The fast trigger just lets you drop 2 rounds on top of each other. It's really neat. I'm sure it'll be banned soon.
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. But Warsaw out there was asking, the next 4th of July, will I be doing a video about servicemen that have given their lives? Typically that's more for Memorial Day to me, but I try to think that I try to bring the military into the light every chance I get. So for me, it's not about one day, and it's not just about a few days, whether it's Veterans Day or 4th of July or Memorial Day, the Marine Corps birthday. For me, and I think Mike's the same way, and G was in the Army, I think a lot of us try to make at least keeping the exposure of the military, the armed forces, and the men and women who serve our country. I try to do something about that every day that I can. So for me to just do something on one particular day a year, I think is a travesty and an insult. So I try to do that all the time. Now, I might not talk about people that have sacrificed their lives for our country, but I think it's implied that when I talk about I love our servicewomen, I try to do all the time I can for veterans organizations. I do as much as I can. When I hear that locally here, when we have people that go off in the National Guard, they go get deployed, they come back, I will typically go and try to meet them and tell them, anyone that, hey, if you've got anything you want to talk about, and some of these kids have never been outside their hometown, and they go see some crazy shit out there, and I always try to say, hey, if you're ever looking for anyone to talk to, I'm here. So I try to do that on a daily basis, a daily basis, but as often as I can. So I think that everyone that knows me well enough knows that I try to stay in that limelight as much as I can. So Revolver wants to know if I own any CZs. Nope. I owned a CZ Scorpion, and one of the ones that I sold, and I kind of regret that. I love the Scorpion. Sold that about a year ago. Don't know why I did that, but I did. But I love the Scorpion. I have shot many CZs. I like CZs. I am definitely not a CZ fanboy. Not saying that I hate them, but that's just, I think there are a lot of guns out there that are really good. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, yeah, I mean, CZs aren't bad. I just don't own any of them anymore. I've owned one. That was a Scorpion. And you guys own CZs? And if so, what do you think about them?
I don't own one, but I dry fired one at the Palmetto State Armory here a couple weeks ago, and I was highly impressed by it. I was highly impressed.
Yeah. Clover, what about you? CZs? Yes or no? Or do you have any?
Only CZs I own are Milsurp.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the 80, the 52, and the 83. Now I own a couple of variants, right? Like 75 knockoffs, I guess you could call them, or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with those at all. I don't have a problem with CZ.
I've actually said that I'm not a big long distance guy, but I do occasionally like to shoot it. And my dream long distance for, fun rifle would be like a CZ 550 Magnum chambered in 338 Lapua. So, yeah, if I could find one of those for less than $2,500 or less than $2,000, then I'd get excited. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing against CZ. I just, I have certain companies that I've gone with just because I've owned them for a long time and have been very impressed. So, G, what about you? You've got any CZs or been around them a bunch, I'm sure.
Not that much. I don't own any. I don't disrespect them. I just have no interest in a gun that the magazines cost so much and there's too many models. I'm more of a practical stuff for handguns. I'm not looking for variety in handguns.
There's a lot to be said about that, and a lot of people will not Glock for various reasons. And I'm not like a Glock fanboy saying that I won't own anything but a Glock, but I am a big fan of Glock. For one reason or two, for many reasons, but one of them is they're reasonably priced. They're going to last forever. They're going to run. But like you said, G, magazines, you can go buy a Glock manufactured magazine for $20 or so. And so you're talking about a company that isn't going to make you spend $800 and then go spend $40 per magazine for more magazines. So, yeah, I mean, I agree.
Allows me to treat my magazines like the disposable part of the gun that they are, a perishable part of the gun, and disregard them. And when I'm training, I don't get into crazy stuff like putting mags in my pocket or being concerned that they hit the ground.
Right. Warsaw says he was thinking about getting an M9, Beretta M9, but he shot a Taurus PT92 and actually with the PT92. I shot the PT92. Good gun, really good gun. To me, it's just not the Beretta 92, the M9, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually looking forward to possibly getting an M9A3 this year. Really looking forward to seeing if I can get one of those. So
when we're on CZ, we're talking pistol. Don't discount the rifles and shotguns either.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to have a 550. I would love to have them.
The CZ shotguns are very sweet. And,
I've never shot a CZ shotgun at all. Like I said, I have shot a couple of CZ rifles, but I've never shot a shotgun. I never have.
One rifle is actually on my list for SHOT Show. Actually,
oh, yeah?
My CZ, because I'm interested in that CZ 457 Varmint MTR, which is a long rifle, basically a target rifle. Pretty bad to the bone looking. So we got some interest.
I forgot about the rifles. Don't they make a 7.62x39 model rifle?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
I would get that CZ if I had $700 or whatever it costs, but I don't, so I won't.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the super chat, and I got a little choked up there for a second. Thanks for G for bringing me back. So this month we are going to do the National Stroke Foundation, but tonight is special. Tonight, all super chats are going to go to G Webs. We want to make sure that he's got everything he can do to get gun channels going, where he can get to SHOT Show and all that. So show your love. All super chat money tonight going to G Web. Since he is here live, we're going to make sure that G's taken care of for SHOT and through some upgrades and all that for gun channels. So get them out there, get some super chats going. Everything's going to G Webs tonight. So we're going to be like Jerry's kids tonight. You know, we're gonna help G out, and he doesn't probably like that. He's probably gonna get pissed off at me off air. I don't give a damn. We're here for our buddy, so we're gonna help you out, G. So thank you to Rick. That's going to G. Anything else? There you go. Clover's got $10 saying we love G Webs. So let's help G Webs out for everything he does for us in the community. The least we can do is make sure that we take care of him a little bit and make sure he can get the shot and all that, because his SHOT Show experiences are vastly different than all of ours, but he has also got some things that he would like to get done at SHOT Show, and he can't do it if he's not there. So let's make sure we help him out. Sorry about that. And I know you're going to be pissed at me, G. I don't give a shit. I love you, man.
Dick.
All right, there's $5 from users so G-Webs can find a new 9mm option. Ooh, all right. So the gauntlet has been dropped. They want to see something from SHOT Show for you.
They make incinerators for like police stations with like the burn evidence and stuff.
What you're gonna do for 9mm is incinerators? Okay.
I think the fifth floor probably has those. So yeah.
Eric Granick out there, $5. Have some gas. $5 from Rick. Here's $5 to help out. Gary with $10. G's the best. So appreciate you, and we're going to make sure we get all of this over to G. So yeah, appreciate you guys very much. All right, so let's kind of talk about last night. I was talking with Clover earlier today about this epic 3 some odd hour chat. And he was talking about some things that were brought up, and we kind of touched on one a little bit a second ago, but I want to get this from G. I want you to kind of get your point of views. I haven't actually had a time to go back and watch it yet, but you know, as we know, some of the quote unquote big dogs in our the media side of the industry, Buck Stanley says $5 out there, but there's some of the big dogs that have decided to bow out of going to SHOT Show. And I kind of wanted to get your thoughts real quick before I bring Mike and Clover and myself, our thoughts in, but when to kind of get, is this something that, is it cyclical? Does this happen from time to time? Or is there something that's happening? Or what do you think the reason why some of the big dogs, quote unquote, are not attending SHOT this year?
Well, that's a good question. I can't speak for him, but is it
well,
cyclical?
Yeah, sure.
No. Is it cyclical? No. Like, will Masad Ayub not be there once in a while? Yeah, but he's been going, you know, probably since the beginning. So who's going to fault somebody for not showing up once if they can't, or they have a conflict or something, a conflicting schedule or something?
Right.
How can there be fluctuation when they've only been going for 3 years, 4 years? You and Clover will have been going longer than some of the big giant channels that act like they are so familiar with the show.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's weird, and there's a lot of people out there in within kind of the gun channels community also. They're saying they're not going to go to NRA next year, and not going to NRA is fine. But some were saying, and I know Mike's been on the board. I want to bring him in a second, but some of them were very adamant saying, well, I'm going to go to NRA, but I'm not going to go inside the show. I'm just going to hang out outside because I don't want to give them my money or whatever. And I wanted to kind of bring you in, Mike, and I know that you had expressed that you may not be going to NRA this year, and we kind of want to get your background, and if you want to share, maybe as to why you were thinking about not going.
From a business perspective, if everybody is pulling out, yeah, I can still go and do the networking portion, but I think for us being content creators and looking for, you know, sponsorships or, you know, any other type of business opportunities we can get, you know, we need the businesses there also. But if they're having a difference of opinion because of NRA guidelines or rules, whatever the case may be on a political standpoint, it kind of messes up the rotation of that wheel, if that makes sense.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm more on the fence, but I'm still leaning more to the side of going.
Yeah, and I think once you go to SHOT Show in a few, God, it's a couple weeks away. It's awesome. Philo, 1999 out there. You're the man, Fee. Appreciate you, brother. But once you kind of go to SHOT Show and you see the massiveness and the craziness, the hectic side of SHOT Show, then you'll appreciate kind of the more laid back NRA where, for me, I think that having a conversation with a company at NRA is probably going to be maybe a little easier than at SHOT Show, because it's not saying it's not as hectic, but it's a different scale of hectic. For me, I think that well, I'll bring Clover in before I go. My Clover, what do you think about some of the big dogs skipping out on SHOT Show, possibly even NRA? I know you have an opinion.
Yeah, well, it's two different things in my book. I don't want to lump the thoughts of both of them together. This whole NRA thing, there's a whole different set of circumstances to me that sort of surrounds that. With SHOT Show, I don't know. I mean, it's their choice as to what they want to do. I think what I have a bigger problem with is really a disrespect and a disservice not only to the industry but their viewers and followers and supporters as well. I think that's number one, and I think that they're, if they keep this up, keep that attitude up, I think that the majority of their core followers or whatever, which is the ones that keep any channel or brand or whatever afloat, will eventually bail on them. Over to it being a personal choice or a choice they've got to make or whatever. I don't necessarily fault that, and it's kind of like G-Web said. I mean, there's people that have to miss a year. I mean, what if you get deathly sick or you end up in the hospital, or we've got to drive 20 hours. I mean, anything can happen.
Right.
God forbid we get in a car accident, or
knock on wood, damn it, knock on wood right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anything
on wood.
Anything can happen. Look at Yankee. I mean, he got sick on the way home, but he very could have easily fell out in the middle of the SHOT Show. As much orange juice as the sucker drink.
I think he kept Florida alive that week.
Yeah, right. So anything. My point is anything can happen. So that's all. That's understandable or whatever. Or legitimately can't get off work or have legitimate monetary issues or something that I get it. The problem that I really have with the bigger channels is when they put it out there that they make it all public, like it's this big, huge deal, and they're a martyr and they're sacrificing something, and they're taking a stand, and you're garbage if you go. You're not on, since all the big dogs ain't going to go, if you go, you're not, you're just showing your true colors that you're not on our playing field, or I don't know. It's that attitude that you seem to get with some of the bigger ones. That
nailed it. But I'd add my concern is that their influence isn't going to be a sure thing that their audience will eventually say, hey, wait a minute. I think that their influence could potentially make their audience say, hey, just like the NRA show, let's disregard this one, and just like the other thing you wanted to disregard, let's disregard that. And then what we're left with is people that are quote unquote influencers. And are they pro 2A at that point anymore? Are they influencing for the advancement of our efforts?
That's a great point.
But now this was a conversation we had a couple weeks ago, whereas how many people are actually in it for the love, or are they just in it for the monetary gain?
Well, that's a point to be brought up too, is one of those things where we don't know, and I'm not going to take up for Tim or Eric or some of these guys. I'm not going to take up for them. I don't know their situation. I don't particularly give a shit. But they might have had their meetings with these companies ahead of time. They already have everything worked out for the year. They may not have to. That being said, I will piggyback on what Clover's saying and wholeheartedly agree. It may not be worth your time to go to SHOT Show or to go to NRA, but damn it, it is damn near your responsibility to show your support of the community and the industry by going to SHOT Show and to NRA. Whether or not you believe what the NRA is doing is proper or not, it makes no difference. That is, you don't have to go to the meetings. You don't have to go to that. Go to the trade show part of it where the manufacturers are out there. And Clover brought up a point, and I'm going to let him expand on it, but I want to touch on it on a phone call today we had. He said, if we continue to stop going and the big dogs use their influence to start talking bad about SHOT in the NRA, the industry shows won't happen because there won't be an industry. And I know I paraphrased that a little bit, Clover, but but I'd like for you to go and touch on that real quick, because I thought that was a great point you made on the phone call earlier today.
Well, what it all boils down to is the industry is the people that provide us with the stuff that we utilize in order to practice and apply our Second Amendment rights. And if nobody's putting out products, nobody's putting out firearms, nobody's putting out ammunition, then what's the point at that? There's no point in having a Second Amendment because we've got no firearms or we've got no ammunition to shoot in said firearms. So what's the point? I mean, that's a way that especially if it's vocally out there, and that's another issue I've got with big channels. And if this becomes some sort of a movement to where we need to shun these big shows or whatever, and it gets infiltrated by crossover anti-gunners or whatever, and then they utilize that. They can actually damage the industry. And I mean, we would have a hard time getting ammunition, and we would have a hard time getting parts to fix our firearms, and we would have there would be no innovation, which sucks too.
I hear you. Got a text from Jason P out there, wants me to run through the panel. He said he just bought himself an FNX 45 tactical. His question is, what kind of red dot do you think I should get for it? Thank you. I personally do not like running red dots on pistols. I'm going to ask Mike and Clover and G if you guys run red dots or anything like that. What would you suggest? I personally don't keep up with red dots for pistols just because I don't like to carry one. But we'll start with Mike. Mike, what about you? Red dots on pistols? Do you have any that you've shot that you like that you would recommend?
I'm not a fan of red dots on pistols, but if I was to suggest one to someone, I would probably say go with Leopold.
Okay, now let me ask this. Jason's out there. I'm assuming he's out there. What's your budget, first of all? That could be an interesting side because some of these that we might talk about could get a little pricey. But what is your budget? But yeah, Leopold, however you pronounce their damn name. But yeah, I've never shot one of those, but I've heard awesome things about them. I've heard they're really, really good. G, what about you? Red dots for pistols?
I almost know nothing. I would buy decent Trijicon or a Leupold because buying garbage is you're spending that money again eventually, especially on a handgun where it's gonna get slammed around and it has to get go back and forth on that slide all the time, so it has to take abuse. So I'd go name brand, made in America.
Yeah, exactly. And let's ask the question real quick, Jason, if you're out there. Is this going to be for a race gun? Are you going to do competition with it? Or, what are you going to be doing with this handgun? That being said, that might tell us what kind of thing we're looking for. Clover, what about you? Red dot?
I'm okay with it. It's becoming more and more acceptable, and I played with a lot more in a competition setting. And they, even cheaper ones hold up pretty doggone well. So, to cover both ends of the spectrum, as far as price, I'm going to say if you're talking, absolute bare bone budget trying to get in, go with the Vortex, go with the Venom. If you have the money, and especially if it's going to be like an EDC type option, probably Trijicon.
Yeah, Trijicon. I mean, you're talking about Trijicon, Leopold, however you pronounce it. You've got the Vortexes. You've got these companies that are out there that have they're probably a little bit on the higher side. He said budget isn't an issue, so there are reasons. What's that?
It's like a $700 pistol, right?
Oh, it's at least that. Yeah, it's probably $700-800 at least. So going to get a $200-300 red dot probably is not something that is going to be outside the realm of possibilities for him. But then he's going to use it for EDC. Now, if it's going to be your EDC, then you would definitely want to go get something like a Trijicon, something that might cost more. But if you're going to use it for your EDC, my personal opinion is go do your research, but go buy the best red dot that you can afford, because if your life's going to depend on it and other people's lives are going to depend on it, you don't want trash on that thing. So I'm sorry, G, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to, before you said EDC, I was just going to say you got a $700 gun, like a $40 optic on it. That's like driving up to a car show with your Porsche and you put like, a $10 dash mat on it or something. It's just going to say something about your gun. But for EDC, I can agree enough. And the other thing is, if you're going to use it as a defensive firearm and you're going to put that dot on it and you're going to practice that way, you got to make sure that dot has the best probability of being on when you need it, because in the circumstances is the last time you want to go, okay, well, now I'm going to shoot irons, which I don't practice enough.
Yeah, and off the X out there was talking about the Holosun. Holosun in the last year or so has really kind of made a push and putting some good products out there. Like I said, I think if you kind of stay with the Trijicon, Leupold, there's about 2 or 3 companies out there that if you kind of stay within those markets, if budget isn't an issue, the reason why I say that is those are tried, those are tested, those are proven. And at that point, it's just kind of really what's going to fit your eye. And I would basically probably go to a gun shop or something that we're going to carry different brands and different models and try them out. You know, you never know what your eye's going to like. But yeah, if you're going to use it for your EDC, do not be stingy on the money, because it's probably going to be you don't want to, no offense, NC Star, but you probably don't want to go NC Star on your EDC. Just saying, you know. Let's see here. I saw a question up here I wanted to touch on. I can't remember who said it. Sorry. I'm off my game. I apologize.
Hey, don't feel bad. I'm off mine also. I can't even keep up with the chats right now.
He said, thank you. You all are great Americans. Well, that's a damn good compliment. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Anyways, I can't find it, but no, and let's get back to the industry stuff. And like you said, all you guys were right. You know, there are certain things that it's our responsibility. And if we quit going and covering these shows, then the industry companies will not go back to some extent. And that's going to hurt business. That's going to hurt everything. I just don't understand why. I mean, I understand that they have reasons, but like Clover said, being a martyr and trying to make this point doesn't make any sense to me. But I'll say this, and Clover and I have talked about this numerous times throughout the last year. If they don't go, that's fine. And I'm not going to say anyone in particular, but there are channels out there that, let's say, will charge $30,000 to do a series of videos. And if you guys don't think that happens, pull the wool from over your eyes. These guys are there to make deals, and these big dogs make deals. We're talking major deals. And what might happen is instead of giving one person 30 grand to do a series of videos, what might end up happening, which could be better for us, the smaller guy, is instead of giving one guy 30 grand, what if they sit there and say, well, he doesn't even respect us enough to come and show up. So we're going to take our 30 grand and we're going to spread it over 15, 20, 30 individuals, give them $1,000 or $1,500. And now we're going to broaden our spectrum of creators. We're going to get different points of view, different audiences. So if you want to continue to boycott and be a martyr and not show up, go ahead. Because that's just going to give me one more opportunity to talk to some of these companies that I want to work with. You know, it might be below you to go, but it's not below me to go. I'm sorry, what are you going to say?
Can I add on that?
Absolutely.
I think it's bad for the everybody, not just the creators, because for the viewers, would you rather get opinion from one person, even if they're somehow better than everybody else with their knowledge, or get that knowledge from, or the experience from multiple people, like you're saying?
Yeah.
And if you use that number, one person versus 30 points of view, and 30 guns going out there and being used in different ways. And then to add to that, is it possible that when you see, you guys are a little different than the large creators that we're talking about here. They all started off back in the day, and they've basically got a mindset to make it like a little production studio or whatever for the most part. And very few of them go live, correct? They
Right.
might read comments, but I can tell you, when you've got a channel with 100,000 plus things, and you've got videos going up on a regular basis, and you're aware of what's going on, or paying attention to your comments, it's not possible to keep track of that many comments, right? But it also takes up a lot of time. You guys are different in the respect that you came up doing live. You started with an intimate relationship with your viewers, not with an analytic look at your subscriber count. And when someone is in the business and they're looking at subscriber counts, they have to look at numbers, and they have to look at as many numbers as possible. So multiple platforms, perhaps, and multiple videos, whatever. So is it possible that people who are out of touch with the actual conversation, with the intimate relationship that I'm calling it, with the people who are experiencing your content, then you don't value the influence that you have? Is it possible that you can walk around like with blinders on, not realizing that people are, a lot of people go off of every single thing they say is gospel, and they can casually say blah, 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 and not realize that it has consequences. And I'm not giving them any excuse, because you don't get the excuse of going, oh, I didn't pay attention to that. But I don't know if they're going to get consequences or if they should deserve consequences. But I think as viewers and people who consume the content that's created at these things, we have voice and we have votes.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Andrew Faulkner has a good question I want to kind of run through real quick, and it says, what's worse, being a channel that boycotts these events or being one that never vocally supports 2A causes? And I think it's
the first
channels that do both, because that's the worst.
Well, that's true. Yeah. And there are people out there that don't go and don't vocally support 2A causes. I think that getting involved, and I'm going to throw my 2 cents out there and I'll run it through the room. I think that vocally getting involved in 2A events is a personal choice. Some people just don't like the politics. Some people aren't educated, honestly. Some people are out there that are channels, are gun people that enjoy shooting and all of that, but they may not keep up with the politics of the Second Amendment, and that's okay. So them not getting involved with the 2A political stuff, I'm not saying I give them a pass, but I understand why some people may or may not. What I don't understand is why they don't go and support the industry, because you have the Second Amendment community and you have the gun community, the industry side. Without, and like Glover said, without the industry, there is no Second Amendment, because we wouldn't have anything to support and to be Second Amendment vocal activists about. If there are no guns, then the Second Amendment effectively dies. I think that the industry side is great. I don't, like G says, I wish they would go and be vocal about the Second Amendment, but I understand why some people would not be inclined to get involved in the politics. That being said, I agree with G. I wish they would do both, but it is what it is.
You have another factor at play too, and I'm sure as time goes on, you and I, everybody in the panel, G may have already dealt with this some, and if you're out there, and if if you're even using your imagination the slightest little bit about what it's like to be a creator, let's say you don't turn on a camera or whatever, you understand that this is still, it operates in the confines and the thinking of a business, right? And so there are potentially contractual obligations and other things where you could get involved, and somebody says, oh, we don't want you talking about or discussing XYZ. Right? We already know this happens with things like cursing in your videos and on your channels and certain things like that. We know that. So I'm sure there are sponsorship stipulations and some other things where it's like, we really don't want you talking about, this political issue or whatever. So they kind of restrict you. And, as a creator, you've got to, I'm not going to say I would, tell them to go, jump off a bridge or something. If they offered me that, I don't know. I would have to, one of the things where I would have to look at what's being offered and then weigh that out. But yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of these bigger channels are infotainment entertainment, and they're bringing people in on a daily basis, just rank and file, those people from the middle that we're talking about, possibly even people on the left that are just curious, because they're bigger channels, because they have that search engine clout, because they have all of that good stuff. They're bringing these people in on a daily basis. So they are a doorway. They are a funnel in an essence. And by not talking about Second Amendment issues, I don't think is as dangerous of a proposition as not being tied to the industry. Because being tied to the industry creates a situation then to where they don't know, the content that they're putting out may not be truthful or accurate or factual or correct or whatever. There's a lot of misleading information. It's sort of like the difference between straight up lying and lying by omission, right? I see that the just not saying anything about the 2A, on your channel, that's sort of like lying by omission. And not going to these events is just straight up in your face telling a lie.
Right.
They're both bad, but I think one is a little worse than the other.
Yeah. Now Vanessa out there says, some of these say that they're going to be there when needed, but they never are. And that's where I wish that some of the, and I want to bring Mike in here in just a second. But that's where I wish some of the bigger channels would get involved in Second Amendment, not to be involved in the politics of things, but you're talking about massive audiences that some of these guys that we're talking about can mobilize armies like that just by saying, go do this. And you'll have thousands of people going to do that just because they say this. And we're talking about parts of America that are under attack by their state governments and all of this, in the federal government, but more likely the state governments. I wish that some of these big dogs would at least maybe put a video out there making people aware of what's going on. And if there are 2A, get-togethers and all that, just for them to put out a video and say, hey, I can't make it for whatever reason it is, but here's what's going on. And if you'd like to go join them. It's going to happen at this time, at this place. At least spreading the message and getting the message out to a massive audience to mobilize armies as what these guys could be used for. And I do agree, sometimes they miss the ball on that. Mike, I want to bring you in. What do you say about the big dogs? And do you think that they should be more 2A political, or should they go to these shows or whatever? And if not, why do you think that?
To put it short and sweet,
you can take as much time as you want, bro.
All right. Do what you feel like you need to do, because of course, money drives people. Their mission is going to drive them. But of course, if you decide not to come to a show, that's just more room for people like me on a smaller scale that can talk to people and actually show a company, hey, this is what you'll get from me if you do this, versus as, you're getting a smaller percentage of what you should be getting from this guy who's getting X amount of dollars from you and whatever else deals they make. So by all means, like I said, everybody has their drive, everybody has their mission. But whatever works for you, hey, let it work for you. If it doesn't work for you, hey, maybe somebody else can benefit off your mistake. So for me, it's I'm devil's advocate on that one. If you say good, I'm gonna say bad. If you say bad, I'm gonna say good.
No, that's what's great. I have no problem. Like I said, I mean, I wish they would show up and support the industry. I wish they would show up and do more 2A stuff. But if they're not, then it might be a chance for some of us to kind of take that torch and to do things and to bring the industry to viewers that we might not have had that opportunity. I wish they would use their influence more, Yeah.
So remember, me and you had this conversation a week or two ago, that a lot of people, they feel more entitled once they get to that portion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
you're right.
Yeah. So if you get the 20,000 followers, now it's like you're expecting people to, hey, do this, I'll give you that. Versus as the hustle that you was putting in from day one, why are you still not doing that? Right? Because a lot of people are in this for, just for the fame, the merchandise, whatever the case may be. Whereas you take somebody like, for me, really think about this. At 19 years old, I went into the military. All I know is guns, because I was infantry my whole military career. You know what I'm saying? So that's the fun aspect of me, because my job was guns. I've always been into guns. I love guns. You know what I'm saying? So now, even though I'm doing this stuff on the outside, this is still fun for me. But at the same time, I'm not looking to get rich, or, if I get famous, I'm still going to give out my phone number. I'm still going to invite people for dinner, come to the range with me or whatever. I'm not going to shield myself from anybody.
Man, we got a question that could take us down a 3-hour rabbit hole, but
me throw one into that last.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
And I'm just talking because we're talking, right? So this is, I have no insight, but my fear is, I'm just going to throw this out there, even though it sounds bad. But if there's a $30,000 deal to be made, let's call it a $10,000, because people think, oh, $30,000, that's ridiculous, even though go half a page in a magazine costs, and $30,000 is a bargain. That's why they do $30,000 deals, because it's not a $60,000 publishing deal. So let's say that a $30,000 deal is being done while we're on this live chat. Unfortunately, that means when you go to SHOT Show, those people have already spent their money and they're no longer interested in talking to anybody else. And they not only have to assume that 30 grand is going to get, or that 10 grand is going to get used efficiently, but if they might even see it as a deterrent to talk about it with other people or something, like this has to be, released by the blah, blah, blah thing that I paid $10,000 for. Otherwise, what's the point of my spending $10,000? Now, I'm going to immediately say, I don't think it has to be that way. And I don't know that it is that way. And I can't cite evidence that that's happened other than suspicion. You guys will know because you guys are in the game. I haven't been in that game in a long, long time. You guys will know because you're in it. You'll be able to tell us after SHOT Show what the experience was. But I'm also going to say, I do know from my insight to the industry, the people I know in industry, they are not that stupid to think that a $30,000, most of the people I know at least, are not naive enough to think that a $30,000 or $10,000 deal with an individual is the equivalent or is somehow better than $10,000 deals, right? So I think that as everything evolves, our ability to get stuff out there with less and less means of production. In other words, we're able to put better quality stuff. Look at the stuff you're putting out there, and the cost you're spending on that is amazing ratio compared to what it used to be. The people that are putting out the stuff that costs $10,000 and more are spending a heck of a lot more on production and stuff, and there's almost no reason for that except that they like it. They're used to it. So now that there are ways for people to get information that's good, well produced, and educated, with insight out there at lower cost, I'm sure that the companies are going to see that. And again, you guys will have to tell me that or tell us that after SHOT, because you'll have your boots on the ground with this stuff. But on the other hand, let's say it's a $10,000 deal with Glock, because we can all throw Glock under the bus. You can walk right past that Glock booth downstairs and meet dozens of other people. So again, you're not limited if that is the case. I don't want to cock block nobody here, but I just want to throw that out there, that's the potential. And that's where, I will stand short of saying do what you want. You can do what you want because it's a free country, and you can do what you want because you got a First Amendment. But on the other hand, there's consequences, and you can do what you want, but be prepared to get the consequences. And again, these people that say dismiss it and then go beyond saying dismiss it and it's not valuable or whatever, if that's a situation that I'm describing that actually happens and they're not going because they've already done their deals and they've gotten paid, and then they're discouraging the rest of the people from even paying attention because, hey, that's not my content, don't watch that. Well, how can it be any good? Then that's detrimental to the community, and I don't think that's a pass. I would stop short of saying you can do what you want. I would say you do what you want, and then I'm going to shout and let people know, and I hope others will, that you're being a dick and you're screwing it over for a lot of other people. And the people that are going to watch you may be 1 million, right? It may be hundreds of thousands. It might be 250,000. I don't know what the numbers are for whoever we're talking about, but are those 250,000 people in this country? Are those 250,000 people buying guns? Are those 250,000 people even pro-gun? Let's talk about when a video gets 1 million views and it's a pumpkin or a watermelon or something just being exploded. Do you really think that's all gun owners? Do you think that any of that is anti-gunners that are watching that and using it in their seminars and saying this is Yahooery that's been happening on the web? So, are these views even valuable to the people that are spending the $10,000 or more? So I think it's detrimental to the industry and to our community if they're in there sucking resources for little return.
I agree. I've been privy to some information that one of my live shows was used in a court case not too long ago. So it's interesting where anything that we put out there could be used anywhere, any given time, like you said, and it might not be for pro-gun people. So now, do we want to go down this rabbit hole, or do we want to bring this up for another one? Mad Sexy out there says, what can we do to get the NRA to change what they're doing? That's a rabbit hole, folks. I don't mind going down it.
be willing to accept, just like when we're talking to an anti, right? We have to be willing to change. We have to be willing to accept some of their decisions. We aren't running an organization that was started in the 1800s and has 5 million something people and has to deal with the two skyscraper office buildings and the museum and the stuff that they have all around the rest of the country, all the training and everything. It's easy for us to say, oh, you're not doing exactly what I want right now. So we have to be open to understanding what they got going on and then hold them accountable. So I think that you have to be a part of it, and you need to, I disagree with you guys when you say don't go to the meetings. We need to go to the meetings. How do we know what's happening in the NRA if we don't go to the meetings? We stand outside and yell that they're not doing what we want. How do we even know what they're doing other than the results that come out from those meetings? So if you're a member of the NRA, you're one of those 5 million people, right?
Right. I'm going to give my 2 cents, and I'll bring Clover and Mike in on here. 2 things that I think that we should ask for is, if not both, at least one of them, the NRA and ILA to split into separate entities. I think that the ILA is giving the NRA a very big black eye. That being said, I don't think it's going to happen because the vast majority of people that give their NRA membership don't care about the ILA, but that's where their money's going. That's why I said I wish they would split entities. Probably not going to happen. So I think what is something that could happen is I wish that the NRA would do something online where you can renew your membership online. And when you do that, it gives you an option, as to where you want your money going, whether it be education, training, youth. Holy cow. Southpaw RX, I'm sorry I cut that off. $50. $50 saying for whatever you need and to get where you need to go. So thank you, Southpaw. $50. There you go, G.
Not the first time he's done that. Thank you, dude.
I appreciate you, brother. But I would like to see the NRA at least maybe give the membership, whether or not they actually go through it or not, but at least visually give us a choice to maybe tell them where we would like our money every year to go, what program. I think if you did that, I think that I probably would come back. I think there'd be more people that would come back and say, hey, if you want to support the ILA, then here's my money, give it to the ILA. If you wanted to go to education or youth shooting or training or instruction or whatever, then I think that maybe that would also give the NRA an idea, is if the masses of the people start putting their money other than the ILA, that may open the NRA's eyes and saying, man, we pissed off a lot of people. They don't even want to support the ILA. So maybe that might cause some change. I don't know. I have no idea. Clover, I haven't heard from you in a while. What do you say? What is some of the things maybe possibly NRA could do to maybe help bring some change or change up their ways?
You know, there's 100 years of them not changing their ways. So to this point, I'm not sure. But I know one thing, and I'll just echo what you said. They've got to. It's already separate, at least a little bit, but they've seriously got to separate their lobbying efforts from their education, safety, competition side. I mean, it needs to be, in my thinking, it needs to be 2 totally separate things. It's 2. There's 2 end goals. There's 2 strategies to raising money. There's 2, the ILA is going to use fear and angst and everything else to raise money. The education is going to use awareness and stuff to raise money. It's 2, they're diametrically opposed, yet they're kind of sort of under the same umbrella, and they got kind of sort of the same people over them. And there's got to be a split there. There just has to be. And then once you do that, I think the education, the safety, the competition arm, it's done very well for the last 100 years. I don't have a problem with that at all. I can't think of anything throughout history that I necessarily disagree with. At least on a massive scale, because there's nothing that just sticks in my head. But on the legislative arm side, on the ILA side, then that needs to be way more transparent than what it is. A lot of it is good old boy smoking room handshake deal, whatever, and that's got to go bye-bye. We need transparency. The members need transparency, and there's a lot of people that are talking about the votes counting. That's all part of transparency. If the votes counting, there needs to be a voting record. They need to run that through. They could very easily have all the board votes and all of that stuff. They could very easily have a third party, a third company that facilitates that to be able to handle that, and then have a matter of record and all that good stuff. It can be done, and it can be done easily for the amount of money that they've got and the amount of money they pay themselves. So I don't see any reason that it couldn't be done that way.
Yeah. Mike, what about you? Do you have anything that you would like to see happen within the NRA structure?
Only thing I really like to see is, like you said, that separation, whereas, you know, they're their own entity and you have the choice to put the money where you want it to go. Because, you know what I'm saying, like, we already know what's going on with the money and everything like that. And are they really doing what they're saying? You know what I'm saying? So one hand is but not helping the other in other sense.
Right. No, and there's been some points out there that people have made saying that it'll never happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I wish it would. I don't think the NRA is going to split from the ILA, because I think that the ILA is the strong arm of the NRA politically, and they need all the funding they can get. And I think they're smart enough. Let's make no mistake. There's some very intelligent people running the NRA. We may not like their politics, but they're intelligent people. And they're powerful people. Let's remember this. But they also understand that they are not going to get the funding that the ILA, quote unquote, needs to get what they need to get done just by separating. They're not going to get it. I think that that's probably going to be well documented. I would just like to see, and whether you call it transparency like Clover did, for me, honestly, I would just like the NRA to show us that they care about what we say. And if they do care, then let us choose where our money goes. Whether or not it actually happens or not is one thing, but at least show the attempt that you're trying to listen to what we want. So it is what it is. Mike, there's some people out there screaming about some giveaways. What you got going on? You want to throw some giveaways out there?
Yeah, I'll give away some stuff if you don't mind.
Not a problem. I'm going to do some giveaway videos. I'm going to have a GunStreamer only video. I'm going to do an Instagram only giveaway. But let's do some giveaways. What you got?
All right. So we'll put it like this. Here's the box right here. Everything is ready to go. All I got to do is just put some tape on it. But on the inside of the box, you know, you get a pair of sunglasses from Venture Gear Tactical. You know, you get a hat. For when I got some ammo from Palmetto State Armory, they was giving out hats, so I figured out I just give this hat away. And then got some ear protection from Venture Gear Tactical as well. And originally what I said was, whoever is the 1,000th person to follow me on Instagram, this is what they get, everything in this box. Right now, I'm at 999.
Oh, so, crap. It's going to happen right now.
Exactly. Because at the beginning of the show, it was at 995.
Okay. So we got to get one more person.
One more person.
Get over there.
I'm more like.
Web's even put the link in the chat over there.
Oh, there we go right there. He done made it easy for everybody.
To do this gets that giveaway.
Yep, they get the giveaway. And I'll even make it even sweeter. Whoever is the 1,010th person, they will get a pair of sunglasses. Let me see how I find them. They will get a pair of these sunglasses for the 1,010th person.
That's a good little segue in there. Venture Gear Tactical has come on as the Drill of the Month sponsor. We want to thank you for them. Starting today, January 1st of 2019.
We go 1,001.
Oh, there you go. So who was the 1,000th one? Do you know?
Enrique Sunray 1500.
Enrique out there. There you go. Enrique's been around a long, long time, my man.
Hey, Enrique, if you will, email me your address to info@m-wtactical.com, or email me or text me your address to 803-250-1256, and I'm gonna put it in the chat also.
So Enrique's been around. He's a good dude.
I know him for a long time now. He lives here in Tucson, Enrique Sonora.
Yeah, good dude. Really good dude. Congrats, Enrique. We still got someone up there. If you get to 1,010,
actually, Enrique just signed up on GunChannel or on GunStreamer. Posted a bunch of videos of a Beretta build and some holster videos and some bags, patches and stuff.
He's on GunStreamer now?
Yeah, he just signed up the other day.
Oh, well, let's get all over there. Not now. When the chat is over, let's get over there and find Enrique over on GunStreamer and show him some love. Show him some love. So, anyways, I want to say a quick shout out to Venture Gear Tactical. They have come on as a sponsor of Drill of the Month. And you're going to have to wait maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day for the January drill month to come out. I apologize. I've just got some stuff going on that it'll take a couple of days to get done. That being said, we have Venture Gear Tactical that are going to be giving some eye protection away and possibly some ear protection throughout the time to the quote-unquote winner of Drill a Month. I want to make this very, very clear. Winning the Drill of the Month is not the priority or should not be the priority of people out there. If you are there and you're a competitive guy or girl and you want to do that, that's great. The idea of the Drill of the Month is not to be a competition. It's getting out there and shooting. It's about creating a catalog for people that may not have the money or the time to go get training. We're trying to provide drills that not only will help you be more proficient, but actually could help someone who's just beginning, because we're going to start doing the instructional side of it as well. So if you're emailing me about people cheating and all of that, stop it. I don't care. Don't shoot the drill. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you're going to not shoot the drill. I want people that are shooting the drills and giving videos are the people that are just wanting to be involved and spread the word of the Drill of the Month. That being said, from this point on, since we're going to have an actual set prize for Drill of the Month, what's going to happen is when we put the Drill of the Month out there, then you can most definitely get out there and shoot the drill and link it either on Instagram, on GunStreamer, on Facebook, or YouTube, or GunChannels. It's going to be in all of those different places. So you can link a video on any of those platforms. That being said, the winner is going to be a random drawing of all the people that have submitted videos. Okay. So we're not picking anybody saying this person was better, this person shot better, this person didn't have the other. Every time someone submits a video, your name will be submitted into the drawing that can then win the eye protection. So the idea of Drill of the Month is not to sit there and say, I shot better than this guy. I don't care if you shot better than this guy. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is getting people out there and getting new people out there. If you've noticed over the last year, I've picked a lot of winners that weren't very good shots. But guess what? They're new shooters, and they thought that my drill was cool to go and shoot. That's the whole thing, is getting more people out there to shoot, getting new people out there to shoot, and trying to be more proficient with your firearm. So if you're worried about winning, then go shoot somebody else's drill. I don't care. Don't email me anymore about someone cheated or this guy wasn't doing this or I was doing this. I shot better than them. I don't give a damn. Shoot the drill, email me the link, and may the best person get lucky. I'm tired of all the crap. And I get crap. It's not just from one person. It's many, many people every single month. Hey, how many people have done this? How many? Stop. Please stop. I want people who are going to shoot the drill of the month. They're doing it for the reasons of getting better, not so they can win a prize. So what's going to happen is if you submit a video, then your name goes into the drawing. And we're going to do a random drawing to see who wins the prize every month. It's not going to be based on how well you shoot. It's not going to be based. I don't care if you shoot. If it's a pistol drill and you want to shoot it with a rifle, shoot it with a rifle. Just get out and shoot. That's all I'm asking, is to shoot and do it for the right reasons, guys. Do it for the right reasons. That's my soapbox for the day.
Hey, can I make a complaint?
Please.
All right. So I went out and I shot the other day, and I changed my sight picture from over here somewhere, and this is what I got. And I am highly upset about that. And I'm giving out hugs to correct this matter.
Okay.
Who's up for the hug?
You want to give me a hug?
I'm giving out hugs for free.
Giving out hugs.
I ain't even charging hugs. I'm giving them away for free.
I love it. Spread the good news. If you're at the range in South Carolina and you see a 6'5" black guy giving out hugs, don't freak out.
Come and embrace
out.
Come embrace it.
We were talking about intimate relationship.
I noticed, Clover, you said earlier you had to hire some lawyers for your intimate relationship with your fans.
I'm a little uncomfortable over here.
That's the funniest thing I heard all day. That's the funniest thing I heard all day. David Bowling out there says he doesn't have the ability to do the drills. People should be happy about that. Here's the thing, and I've said this before. You don't have to actually shoot the damn drill. You can dry fire the drill. Dry firing a drill is going to get the same work on a skill than pulling the trigger and actually having the lead come through the barrel. Dry firing is just as good as anything. The only reason why I put the target out there is, well, two reasons. One, we're working on something specific, whether it's acquiring multiple targets, getting that front sight acquired quickly, or what transitioning or whatever. You can do that dry firing, and you can do that at home. I don't care if you actually shoot lead through that piece of paper. It's about getting more proficient, and dry firing is just, if not more important than actually pulling a live round through that barrel. Just saying.
Yeah, and I mean,
Happy New Year, Skull.
Switch it up. Whatever's comfortable for you, whatever equipment you have access to, however you have to, if you want to incorporate some little thing into it, the whole point is to get out and get on the range and
that's right,
train and practice and shoot. So
all right,
so that's the way.
Flip Flop Girl says she'll take a hug, Mike.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry about that, Clove. I just thought that was funny.
Hey, don't hate.
He's mad, Mike. What do we expect?
I hear you. It's all good. It's all good. My point was enjoy being at the range. Stop crying. Oh yeah, I mean exactly. Like I said, it's just one of those things where, if getting something for free entices people to get out there and shoot, great. But understand what the whole end game is. The whole end game is getting people out there to shoot. Getting new people. If you go out there and shoot, take someone with you. I know that Mike had someone that he went to the range with last month that had either never shot or had very limited experience in shooting. And one of the things that they did while they were at the range was shooting the drill of the month. I thought that was cool as hell. It's just one of those things where I don't even care. I really don't. How well you shoot. That has nothing to do with it, because I think that there are people out there that are new to guns that may feel uncomfortable about shooting on video and submitting it. If you don't want to, make it a private video, or I say an unlisted video, and email me the link. I get at least 5 or 6 of those every month. People saying, hey, I don't want to put this public. Not a problem. I understand. I get a bunch of those every month that people send, please don't make this public, but here I am shooting. Awesome. The only reason why I ask you to do that is two. Well, actually, there's 2 reasons. one, to have proof that you actually shot the drill. 2, some people, if they turn that camera on and they understand that it is as simple as turning your cell phone on, videoing you on, then you might become part of this community and turn your camera on full time and be part of the solution and all that. But mostly it's just about getting out there and shooting. And I just want people to understand that that's the whole point, is getting out there to shoot. It is not about winning. Gun Loving Grandpa standing out there says everyone wins with drill a month. Whether or not the drill of the month are great drills is for you to decide. But get out there and shoot. If you want to shoot something besides my drill, I don't care. Just get out and shoot. That's all I'm asking you to do, is get out there and shoot. I'm sorry, someone was going to say something earlier.
I'll throw out there. Sounds like a good idea to take the new person like Mike did, because then, if your first experience shooting is like, here's a bunch of rules and here's a bunch of stuff you can't do, and then here's this little tiny black dot you're going to shoot at way down there. That's not the same as like, here, let's stand up and shoot this pistol, an interesting way at like a fun target.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be baiting people to go to the range with me also.
Oh, so, I know that.
So like, I'll be at the store and people, I just start up a conversation and they're against guns. Hey, let's go to the range. I just want to show you something. Next thing you know, they're all into guns.
And sometimes that's literally all it takes. It really is. That's sometimes that's all it takes is, and I've said this 1,000 times. We've all said this. We all remember what it was like the first time we pulled the trigger. We all remember that. Now, some people it was a lot longer ago than it was for me. Mine was about almost 25 years ago. When I pulled in boot camp the M16A2 for the first time. I was like, holy shit. A light clicked. I was like, I understand. But we all have that feeling of, whoo, that adrenaline rush and all that. And if we could make sure that people experience that in a safe and fun way, then that's all we need. We just need more people that are willing to go to the range and experience that for the first time. Once they realize it's not scary, and if you're doing it the proper way, in a safe way, in a fun way, it won't be scary for them. That's the whole thing. The more people we can get on our side, we wouldn't have to worry so much about the politics. We've got, they say sometimes 90 million gun owners. We have over 300 million citizens. If we could get over 100, let's say 175 million gun owners, we don't ever have to worry about gun control because we'd have the numbers. That's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. Go ahead.
I like that, but I like to look at, let's say we only had 30 million real gun owners, because there's a lot of people that have gun in the closet. They got a grandpa. So let's say there's 30 million, and let's say that only every 2 brought a new shooter in. So now we've got 15 million new gun owners. That's a whole different thing than saying there's 45 million gun owners. That's 15 million people who are like, hey, I have a right and I have an ability to do this, and this is super fun, and I've just started. They're not about to let their rights get taken away. They're just starting their path.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I think that if you can bring 1 or 2 people, and then they bring 1 or 2 people, and they bring 1 or 2 people, then by the next election cycle, the demographics of gun owners is much, much different. Much, much different. So that's a great point. All right. It is 8:32. We're running a little bit late, a couple minutes late. So we're going to start cleaning up and sweeping the floor. You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Let's start with Mike. What you got, Mike?
All right. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Enrique for being the 1,000th subscriber to my Instagram page. And for anybody who doesn't know, I primarily do everything on Instagram and a little bit on Facebook and Twitter. And the videos I put on YouTube is just that, the videos. But mainly I'm on Instagram because I'm on an Instagram kick right now. But like we said, for whoever is the 1,010th person, they will get a pair of sunglasses also. Now, outside of that, please go check out the Armed Citizen podcast that Ghost put out this week and give them your feedback of what you think of the show. I'm curious to hear what people have to say about that. But now on the M-W tactical note, please go to www.m-wtactical.com, the one-stop shop where you can check out everything I'm a part of from the Facebook and Instagram pages, which you can find me by doing a search for M-W Tactical, even a link where you can catch up on the Black Man with a Gun podcast with Ken Blanchard and myself. The M-W Tactical channel, where we do various reviews or conversations that we put out every Tuesday on GunStreamer, YouTube, UGEtube, and GunTube. But click on the link and become a Patreon. And also, if you go to www.m-w-tactical, check out the store. We got a swag store that's up. And the money doesn't come to me. It goes to the various different projects that we have going on. And one of the projects that I have going on right now is raising money and getting people trained for free. So bring more people into the gun community if they don't have the means to, get the training or get a CWP. The money is already there. Now we can start generating certain people to come to class and get trained up.
Awesome. G, what you got going on? Anything special you got in the stables?
Well, we got tomorrow's Every Second Matter, so hoping to mobilize a bunch of people that'll be going to consider thinking about the Second Amendment while they're there. Also challenge to bring some of the writers and activists and authors and people that I've been talking to individually to get on board with the concept of getting together and talking about the Second Amendment once a month, so that it's not, occasionally. But and then I've just been posting a bunch of stuff for the month on the gun calendars. That's always fun. And again, Humboldt, thanks for the support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we love you, buddy, and you do so much for all of us and for the community. The least we can do is help you out when we can. So I appreciate everything you're doing. Clove, what about you, my man?
I don't do much of nothing. I just sit around all day.
We know that. So.
Eat pasty cake, powdered donuts, and that's my.
I heard that you've been dabbling in some cobbler. Is that something that's real? That you're working on different flavors of cobbler?
No.
No? Oh, so it's a lie. Oh.
Well, you heard that, but no.
I was just hoping.
Not really. We've got. Hold on. Pardon me. We've got Mark with Axion Optics will be on for Firearm Friday this Friday, so that'll drop. Look for that on all the various platforms, podcast platforms. Bright and early at about 6 Central is when those drop. So, and then throughout the day they'll filter out to other places. Lord willing, I had some issues last night with and ended up today too, actually, with the stuff over on Facebook, trying to get things all linked up and done.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Facebook's jinky as all get out though.
Oh yeah,
it's probably the crappiest platform as far as what am I thinking? Infrastructure it's the crappiest one as far as the infrastructure of all the big ones. But yeah, there's that. There'll be videos dropping, Instagram posts, obviously all that good stuff, and then we'll eventually kick off and do a 200 subscriber push for GunStreamer too, so that may drop sometime this week.
Now, user says that he just got his gas tank filled up and he's heading to Tennessee for that hug. Tell Mike that. You have fun in Tennessee, but he ain't in Tennessee, brother.
It's a long run.
Hey, now we're gonna have a map out. Where is M-W Tactical?
Yeah, what's that whole thing? Finding Waldo, or where's Waldo? Where's Mike? Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, have fun in Tennessee. That's going to be an expensive trip if you're trying to find Mike in Tennessee. No.
He actually said, I'm on my way from Tennessee.
Oh, from Tennessee. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, come on down.
All right. I just thought that was funny. I shouldn't have said anything, but nah, a laugh's a laugh. I need a laugh right now. That was funny. Guys, thanks for watching, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for supporting G-Webs, and I want to see these fools here in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait for that. Yeah, go check out the website is brand new. We kind of launched a new looking website a week or two ago. Go check out at www.ghosttacticalproductions.com. You'll have links to the drill a month, to Armed Citizen. You have for Operation Training Day, all of our links for the swag, the t-shirt shop, all of that stuff's over there. If you want to go over there and check it out, we'd love to have you look at it. Yeah, make sure that you go to Facebook. I don't push Facebook and Instagram as much. I really am enjoying Instagram a lot. I never thought I would, but I'm enjoying Instagram lately. Something about it, I guess. I don't know. But make sure that you go follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, on GunStreamer, and all those different places. If you haven't gone to GunChannels.com, please do. Go check us out over there. Be a member. It's free. If you're inclined to, you can support by getting a featured membership over there. But just to go there and hang out, it is free for Gun Channels. But go over there and be part of the solution, not part of the problem. But thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching this in replay or listening to this in replay, then thank you. If you have questions for next week, please email them to live@ghosttactical.us. Remember that tomorrow is the 2nd of the month. It is Every Second Matters. And damn it, every second does matter. So make sure that you're part of it. All you got to do is turn your camera on and make a video or go live just for a few minutes and tell us what you do and what the Second Amendment means to you. And what do you do to celebrate? I'll be open carrying tomorrow. And, or, people are doing that or whatever. Just turn your camera on and be part of the solution. And let's really flood airwaves tomorrow and the video waves, whatever you want to call them, and hashtag it every second. The number 2 ND, every second matters. I'll put that out there real quick. Every second matters. Hashtag it. Let everyone know. Every second matters. So, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. We will see you next week. And we love every single one of you. And thanks again for watching. Semper